Hey everybody, this is Captain for reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy. Alright everybody, for those of you that know the drill, I go over a bunch of comic books for the week that I chose to read. Now I didn't have time to read everything, so if I missed something you think I should have read, let me know in the comments below. Also, you may disagree with me on some of my choices. If that's the case, that's alright. Let me know below. Let's just try to keep it civil. My goal is to bring back the old schoolyard days, where we would be discussing what hero could beat who or what comic book was good and not. And I come armed with my trusty notes, so you'll hear the paper rattle because I do it a little bit old school. I do my grading on a scale of 0 through 10, 7 being average as a 70%. So I'm using schoolyard grading. But that's not all. I also used a League of Comics Geeks to give you other people's views as well as a brief overview of the comic book as well. So let's jump right in. Well, welcome back everybody. Thanks for all of you that have joined up and subscribed to the channel. We've had an influx. The channel continues to grow and get more support. So I want to say thank you to all the supporters as well. Without them, this channel would not be possible. With that said, last week had a pretty good amount of views for that comic book review. My comic book reviews don't get the most reviews on my channel, but I do it for the conversation, if you will, the community building. And that one, boy, that one had some vitriol and some fire. Some people came in with some good logical discussions. Some people came in all hot and bothered because I refused to review a video, because I review a comic book, sorry, because I didn't think I could do it with being unbiased. And of course that pissed them off, which made no sense whatsoever. And so some people stuck around and understood and had a good conversation over it. Some had to take their ball and go home because, well, they have particular opinions they came loaded with and they can't be challenged on that. Well, so with speaking of opinions, let's dive right into my opinion on Captain America issue number 11. 36 out of 47 liked it with a 3.4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, which isn't really that good. And to be fair, I gave it even worse score. I thought it was only a 6.9. This is from a major Captain America fan. And I'm really thinking J. Michael Straczynski, can't speak there, the writer of this, really dropped the ball. Ryan North also is a writer on this, so I don't get what the deal is there. We have a couple different artists as well, Xavier Guerin and Jesus Diaz. And once again, if I butcher names, it's not out of any meanness there. It's just because I suck at saying names. Anyway, it says Steve Rogers finds the last change agent, someone who can change the direction of the world forever by dying. And as Steve wrestles with the morality of his task, a member of his inner circle is moving to betray him. And I think that part's pretty cool. Plus you get part 2 of the Deadpool Wolverine weapon extraction little thing going on there. And I thought this book had decent art, but the pacing of this issue, as well as this story, is incredibly slow. This issue was quite a bit boring, if anything. There really wasn't much of anything in this issue. Matter of fact, if you skipped this issue, you probably and picked up the next one, you probably wouldn't miss much. The side story with Deadpool and Wolverine was okay, but I'm not really counting that as part of the meat of the issue for grading purposes. I just can't get on board with this issue of Captain America. I don't think it's worth your hard-earned dollar dues, and this is from a solid Captain America fan. So next, let's dive into Vengeance of the Moon Knight number 7, where 127 out of 128 liked it with a 4.6 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. I gave this book a 7.3, so not quite as high as they did, but still quite solid. I want to make a point here. Notice that 127 out of 128 liked it. Compare that to what I just said about the Captain America book. How on earth is a character like Captain America doing less than Moon Knight? Come on, Marvel, you need to do your job. But then again, maybe this series is just that good. The writers Jed McKay and Ryan North. Again, I don't know why we have that dual team there. Artist is Alessandro Capacuco. Sorry, dude. And Scott Kobilish, which once again, I just butcher names. I'm horrendous with them. And anyway, we have Hunter's Moon, Tigra, and Reese launch their boldest offensive yet. Yes, the clock is ticking. The odds are against them, and the vampiric stakes have never been higher. But will they succeed? Well, yeah, actually, they do. It's pretty good. The team breaks Khonshu free. Yeah, and they get some help from a villain to do it, which is pretty good. We get the return of Mark Spector. Yes, he's resurrected. This book has good art. I think it has good characterization. I find the story interesting. I know not everybody that watches my videos are a Moon Knight fan, and that's okay. Not everybody has to be, but I'm telling you, I'm enjoying this. I've been enjoying what the Moon Knight's been kicking out. Now we'll shift gears to DC. Nope, not a Mark Waid title. Oh boy, gonna piss some people off because I didn't review a Mark Waid title. Actually, I don't even know if he had any this week, to be honest with you. By the way, thanks again to everybody that participated in the chat last week's comic book review video. I greatly appreciate that. Well, anyway, Absolute Power, Task Force 7, number 2. 102 out of 114 liked it with a 3.7 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, where I give this book a valid 7.3. Writer is John Layman, artist is Max Raynor. It says hostile taking over of Atlantis. Oh yeah, definitely. This thing goes in, this Amazobot thing comes in and just takes out Atlantis. Yeah. Whew. And makes it look easy too. So now Atlantis has a new ruler. Depth charge. Yeah. Amanda Waller continues to take over and make the heroes look bad. I think it's a pretty good art in this issue. It's an interesting story. And this is a good use in this issue of mid-level characters. I think that's how an event should be. If you're going to use an event and crossover, you should use it as an opportunity to promote the characters that don't normally hold their own title and can support their own title and maybe build them up. This is good if you're into the Absolute Power storyline. So if not, though, you probably can skip it. So once again, if you're reading the Absolute Power storyline, you're all the connection things to it, this is a good one to get. If not, I'd skip it. But as I said, it's not a bad book. Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by my wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things to just you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out, we have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you, everybody. And let's get back to the video. And speaking of what I think is a bad book, which runs a little contrary to some people's views, is The Flash number 11. 83 out of 89 liked it with a 3.9 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave the book a 6.4. Yeah, I did not like it like they did. The writer is Simon Spurr, artist is Raymond Perez. And it says the Speed Force mystery deepens. Yeah, does it ever. As Barry, Max, Mr. Terrific, and Pilgrim head into the Speed Force to uncover what's really causing all the chaos around the world. Wally returns home, but is under the same mind control that sees Barry. Meanwhile, Linda finally meets the Resident. That being Wally turned to while trapped in the gallery. What can I say about this? I am not a fan of the art style of this issue at all. I really do not care for this long-winded, convoluted story. How you can have a character that's all about speed and have a story that moves so slow is beyond me. I found this book to be boring. It needs a new creative team. This team, in my opinion, is running this series into the ground fast. Yeah, I hope you got the pun there. It really, I just could not find that this book was really worth getting at all. I would really like to know your views on this Flash title, though. Do you think it's good? Am I the only one really missing the point here? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. The next one I want to talk about is taking advantage of the popularity currently of the Deadpool Wolverine movie is Deadpool Wolverine World War III, issue number 3. 74 out of 77 liked it with a 4 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, and I really did not think it that much of it. I gave the book a 7. I thought the cover was cool. It was very interesting. There's a couple alternate covers that are pretty good too, and some that are okay. The writer is Joe Kelly, and the artist is Adam Kubert. With that said, Wade and Logan's all-out war concludes in this issue. Wolverine's tested us beyond his limits, and Deadpool's no more. Nah, Deadpool can grow back. This book is decent art. I thought the story was a little bit slow. It's nothing really that that made me go, man, you need to run and get this series, this mini series of 3 issues. I thought it was just all the way through. Probably a story that was in a drawer sitting somewhere, and they said, hey, we need some Wolverine and Deadpool stuff because of the movie. Let's get something. And somebody said, hey, I've got this story in the drawer. And they pull it out because I'm sorry, I just don't see how this was anything special. Did you really think this was cool? Let me know. Am I way off the mark here? And I'm just the old man, yelling at the clouds. This wasn't that good. Back in my day, the books were better. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. And speaking about back in the day when the books were better, let's talk about Zatanna, Bring Down the House, issue number 2. Boy, do I have a different take on this one than the League of Comics Geeks people did that read this and reviewed it. They said 155 out of 163 liked it with a 4.2 average rating. Yeah. Well, I gave the book a 6.7, not even close. So, man, I might be the old man barking at the clouds here. The writer is Marcio Tameka, artist is Xavier Rodriguez. It says, this is a Black Label book, and we got Zatanna refusing to use powers, doesn't want to have the powers, but she's gotten attacked by something from her past that reveals that she probably caused the issue. And of course, by the end of the series, she's going to accept that she's got powers and all that. And, sort of obvious, but I'm just not a fan of a lot of things in this book. First of all, with a character like this, I think the art style really misses the mark. But this book, too, is $5.99. $5.99 for this thing. I'm sorry. Anybody reads it, I can't say how you can't tell me that the dialogue in this book is not garbage. I thought the dialogue was bad, the art was bad. Really, this character that's underutilized, underused, deserves so much better than she got with this. That's what I think. I really didn't like this book, so I really run a counter opinion to the 4.2 average rating on League of Comics Geeks. Here's my notes here. When I gave it just a 6.7, I'm sorry. I just couldn't like this book that much. I'd like to know what your thoughts are as well on it. And the last one I read this week, I know I didn't read a whole lot. I just only had so much time. But I read Green Arrow issue number 14, where 119 out of 123 liked it with a 3.9 average rating on League of Comics Geeks, where I give this book a 7.1, slightly above average. Writer is Joshua Williamson. Artist is Sean, whatever, dude, I'm not butchering your name. Sorry. With the brand new Deadly Amazos on the attack. Yeah, those things are coming over and capturing the heroes, and the ones that don't capture are on the run and depowered. All over the DC universe. No one is safe. So the Green Arrow family tracks down the Amazos' original creator. Yes, Professor Ivo. Can he help them stop Waller's master plans? But they're not alone. They're not the only ones searching for Ivo. Oliver Queen is also in hunt. Yes, because Oliver Queen is working on the inside. Some people go, I can't believe he's joined sides with Waller. As I said earlier, I don't think he ever really did. I think he's doing this all to be on the inside. I thought this book has decent art, and overall, it's a decent story so far. And it's nice too to see the Arrow team, which is sort of a whole counter Batman team, if you will. So each Green Arrow and Batman similarities, because let's be honest, Green Arrow is a copycat of Batman. He has his Arrow Cave and everything else. It's sort of funny, but they're both cool characters in that regard. But anyway, Batman and Nightwing give orders pretty much to the Arrow team. The Arrow team's like, no, we're going to do what we want anyway, which defying Batman is sort of cool. Let's admit that. That's pretty good. So I get this book a 7.1. So this week, didn't review as much, but I've been pretty busy. If I missed something that you really think I should have read, let me know. I'm going to miss all the people mad at me because I refused to read a Wade book because that makes me a bad person because I couldn't handle that he's, I didn't want to review a book because he was not okay that somebody didn't get killed. I mean, come on. That's not by the way, it's not a political point. I wouldn't want a political opponent assassinated. It's not a political point. It's a humanitarian point. Just because you disagree with somebody, it's not like they're, committing genocide or anything. They're doing anything like that. They're just somebody running for president, for crying out loud, that has opposite views of you. You should wish them dead. I mean, come on. And if you can't take that as the wrong thought, maybe you ought to have a little self-introspection. There's my political soapbox standpoint. I try to avoid it all last week as much as possible, just saying that I couldn't let my bias out, and that's what it was. I wouldn't care what political candidate is. I don't want them assassinated. I think light's the best thing. Let people speak. Let people hear, just like I want you here to do. Speak. Share your thoughts on these comic books. Maybe, just maybe, you'll take somebody who goes, I've never read that book, I don't think I'd like it, to try that book. Or maybe have them get an alternate take on something, because if we can't have a conversation, that's when things usually break down. You notice when people can't have a nice discussion about a comic book and have a disagreement, that's when name calling starts and potentially leads to violence. If we could actually have conversations, have civil, kind conversations and disagreements, and learn that we don't all have to agree, maybe, just maybe, we can make this a little bit of a better place. Thanks to all these people here. Without them, truly, this video and all those other ones I make would not be possible. If you want to help out the channel too, don't be afraid to check out our Patreon to get some additional content or our subscribe star. Thank you all. You've been nothing but amazing. Take care, and until next time, keep it frugal.